Okay, this is Mark Petrie. I've had a few days to look at the Facebook graph search now that they've added it to my account, and I thought I would share some of my initial impressions of the search itself. All right, so when you get Graph Search installed, it changes your top toolbar and moves sort of all your normal elements that you had from the left side to the right side and leaves room for the Graph Search. Now, the first time that you look at it, it gives you a tour of it and explains a little bit about how to use it. And it actually does a great job with that because it uses real data from your Facebook account. So here's the first thing that you'll notice. First of all, when you click one time on it, you start seeing things that it is trying to search against, or it has indexed at least. So the first thing you'll notice is you can say, like, who are my friends? And it'll start making a list of your friends. I'm not exactly sure how it does the connections. These are some of my close friends that are coming up here. Of course, my wife being the first person in my friends network. But you can filter these things on the right-hand side. So you can start looking at the relationship you had with them. Were they in a past job that you had? Did you share that, or a hometown or school or whatever? The next thing that you can do is when you click on it again, it starts making other suggestions. So before you even begin to type in a search, you start to see, like, do you want to see friends who live in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is where we're from? So I can say, yeah, go ahead, show me the people who are from Charlotte, and now it's filtering it down. It's pretty much the same list on top here, but you can start to look at, like, who worked with me at a former company called Ameristar. And then I have, okay, these are the people that worked with me down there. So it gives you an idea. It has essentially a drill down, and there are multiple ways that it can do it. This is sort of what I would call the suggestive way Facebook would want you to do that. So I'm going to delete my search and start over. Next thing you can do, and I found this to be kind of useful, I can start saying photos of my friends, and I can start scrolling through all the various photos of my friends or myself. But once I click on it again, I can put in, like, photos of my friends with me. And now I start to see any photos that I've essentially been tagged in by my friends on Facebook. So that's an interesting thing. And then I can say photos of my friends, and I can start typing here. I can add on to that with Angela, my wife. And now you can see that it'll show me all the photos where we're both tagged in those photos. So that's an interesting thing that you can do. The next thing we'll go back to is take a look at, and this is where it starts to affect marketers, I think. I can say restaurants nearby, and I can say restaurants nearby, and here's some restaurants that we have here. And I can even do things like Mexican and this time actually it came up with a web search. What it did was it said, we don't have a search result that shows Mexican restaurants nearby you that it had for me to look at within Facebook, that pages and things like that. So it reverted to its partnership with Microsoft, and it gave me Bing searches. Now this is where it gets really generic, and I don't understand why I would have a Mexican restaurant show up for Houston, Texas. I have no idea. So that's one thing that's a little bit flaky. I'll go back again, and I'll go to friends who like Mexican food. See if it gives me a result on that. And it changed it to my friends who like Mexican restaurants. So now I can see these are the people in my network that like Mexican restaurants. So you can keep drilling down. You can type in a direct search. And essentially what's happening is it is going to give you the results within Facebook first if it has them, and then if not, it's going to go back out to the web and use Bing as the search engine to find results for you. So It's much more suggestive in terms of what it does for you. And, it's in its very, very, very early phases. This right now, today is January 28th, 2013. So there's going to be a lot of advancement on that. But if you want to just play around with it once you get on it, I found it was interesting that like music, my friends like, you can find some interesting things in there. Another thing that I thought about searching on was social media experts in Charlotte. And it starts doing that. And it says, sorry, we can't find any results for your search. So now I know, as a social media marketing expert, what I need to do to develop enough information inside of Facebook so that I come up in those results. So as a marketer, my final point is going to be start thinking about your essentially Facebook search engine optimization. How can you leverage keywords and key phrases that you would do outside in Google and Bing and Yahoo to be able to be the results? This is a wide open opportunity as people start to really get into graph search, and then they start using it for beyond personal but also for business reasons, and maybe even move away from Google. But this is where I see a lot of opening for marketing people who are out there trying to figure out how to leverage this graph search for their brand. So if you have any questions, of course, feel free to reach out to Right Here Interactive. We're happy to help you set a strategy based on what we know now on how to work with graph search. Thank you.